And you thought we weren't going to have a show this week. Well, here we are. Dave's back, ladies and gentlemen. What's up,
Hey,
Dave?
this is number 26, isn't it?
This is number
27?
26. 20,
Wow.
yeah. So for all those out there, we actually delayed it because last week we had Drew Christopher on the show, and it was such a great show. We had such a great rapport. He asked Dave and I to go on his recording, so we went on a Zoom. We had a nice conversation with Mr. Drew Christopher, hustling with Drew himself, and we didn't want to leave you guys hanging. So at the very end of that, Dave and I are like, we should still just go on live at least for a little bit, right? So if
Yep.
you guys are watching, we're here. And Johnny V from Old City Photo Booth, like, he texted me. He's like, "Where are you at?" And I'm like, "We're doing another show." So what's up?
We're having fun.
Yeah,
Tonight, that was a lot of fun. Being on somebody else's show for once, that was great.
yeah,
I
yeah,
enjoyed that.
absolutely.
But I will say, it's not as much fun as what we do here.
Well,
Because,
no, it's
you
different.
know,
It's a whole different experience. Hopefully, Sharon, if you're watching this, we'd love to come on your show. No problem. We'll come. You just let us know. So,
we have to get her on because I heard such amazing things from her the chit chat gathering
yeah,
that she had.
yeah. I saw the little video she posted, and Shane,
Yep.
has been on the show, a great friend of ours.
Mhm.
I saw a little screen, and Shane, if you're watching this, I'd love to see those slides. It's all about white labeling, and I love learning off of Shane. I froze the video. I was like, oh, let me take a screenshot. I want to learn something. So yeah, it was good.
It was a
Um,
lot of fun
yeah, so
from
yeah,
what I
so we had a
saw.
lot of fun on that show. We talked a little bit about the OG, right? The OG to my side over here, about like the history of sort of like the history of photo booths, right?
Yeah.
And when it was back in the day, I think Dave was describing how we had to wait before you take a picture for the people to put their wood teeth back in because the bird and make sure the bird was
Yeah.
fed to hit the tablets.
I had to make sure that you kept him fed just enough so he could stick his head through, see the picture, and then do a little tapping on the stone tablet, and then he'd push it out with his little beak
Yep.
into like a little tray below. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. So we're not going to be on
If
for too
anybody's
long
wondering,
tonight.
that joke goes back to the Flintstones. If anybody's
That's right.
wondering,
Yabba dabba doo.
and there
Um,
is actually a photo booth in the Flintstones back then. So
yeah, there was. It was crazy.
yeah.
And you were saying, so that's another thing we talked about. Like, you're seeing a trend of some events wanting the old retro booths back, right?
Hmm. Yep.
Because
I've been starting to get some calls, and some people that I talk to in the industry have been seeing it come around too. So I don't know if it's a trend or it's just some people are just looking for it.
yeah, I mean, it's everything has got its niche, and it's what we're talking about. That just like how music comes back. Like when all says, "Oh my gosh, I used to listen to this song back in the day," and they get into it, and they start having those memories. And same thing with photo booths. I think you're going to see the same thing. Like the old, some people are going to request that old style because it's got a purpose, right? It brings back memories, right?
Yep.
So why not? And one day, the iPad booth will be out and then it'll come back. The mirror booth will be out and it'll come back. Clothing, kind of the same thing. People, you see kids going through these clothing phases. Like, man, I used to wear that back in like the mid '80s or the mid '90s. So yeah, it's kind of cool.
I'm getting a lot of requests for like retro parties, like 80s and 90s theme parties, more
Yeah.
90s theme parties, but
Well,
yeah.
I'm DJing a '90s theme party Friday night. They asked me to,
That's right, I saw it.
yeah. So that should be fun. I've been working, practicing. I don't like to just show up and I kind of like to make sure I'm like well versed. So if I had to put on '90s at 9 on Sirius XM, listening to that. Um, but so speaking of new things, did you see the announcement from Curator today?
I did not. There was an announcement from Curator?
Yeah, I got some sad news. They got an update. Boom! Look at that. So They did some really cool updates. All right, I'm gonna go through
Well,
these.
if anybody was at the expo, Jim or James, sorry, James really went over some of the new features
Yep.
in the Booth Mastermind and even his little seminars here and there. And man, this looks really cool.
Yeah.
So
And I literally, what the funny thing is, I was playing with my iPads this weekend. And this is, guys, use what software you want, right? I just happen to like to use Curator. It's my comfort zone. And I want to try out the other softwares too, and I'm going to, but I only have so much time. But today, I literally texted James. I said, James, I'm having an issue with my iPad. The boomerangs have been running really slow. He's like, did you update to the new update? I'm like, what? What update? So I went into the App Store. I was like, new update. Fixed my issues. It was like night and day. And then he's like, we got some new updates too. Just launched. I'm like, holy crap. So talk about timing. So look at this here. We've got tons of stuff.
yeah,
So it's like we're gonna have like James on again to go through all this stuff. So James, if you're watching, maybe you want to come on next week. Could be good timing because I don't think we have
yeah.
anybody planned for next week, do we? No, we don't.
Mm,
Not
not at
yet.
the moment.
Yeah.
I gotta work on that schedule.
Yeah, but there's some like some little tweaks that are really cool about this, and like I said again, some people have other apps that say, wait, it already does this, and already does that, and that's fine, you know. But for us that use Curator, this is big news. What I like about one of the small things for me is they categorize the digital props, so it's
Right.
a lot more organized and easier to navigate through. Um, Let me go ahead and show you real quick what I mean. There's just so many freaking cool things. So and I've been. This was like a couple hours ago that I went in and figured this out. So let me go to a past event here. So this one here that I test out. Let's go. This one here. I've got one. RGB. Is that the one I got? RBG. Sorry. Sorry for those folks watching, but it's worth the wait. So go into edit. Um, Photo layout here. So there's all that stuff where you do the layout of the overlay. But if you go in here to props, usually it was just one big section of just random props. Now they got it categorized. It's
Oh
really,
wow,
really nice. Yeah, check that out.
very cool.
Um, so that's one thing I'm really looking forward to using. And there's so many. And once Facebook says, user says, "Is this live?" The answer is yes. It's not Memorex. Um, there's just so much other cool stuff in here. So if you guys get a chance to, I posted a link to this in Photo Booth Network and Photo Booth Magazine, both the Facebook groups. Go to the link. You can read all the updates for Curator Live. So it's pretty exciting. Um, I've just been diving in, and now I've got to dive into more stuff. So I'm gonna be backlogged.
Yeah, so Breeze booth or Breeze iPad booth just came out with an update too this week, um, and it's looking really neat. There's some really cool effects that the other iPad softwares aren't using also. So there's some really cool technology and features coming out with these different softwares. So
And
it's something really cool.
it's coming out so fast. It's hard to
It
keep
is.
up. It's so hard. And again, I only have so much hours in the day and days in the week to learn everything, and there's just all this stuff to absorb. So, doing my best to keep up.
Yeah, it's crazy how many iPad softwares that are really out there. I mean, the top four. I mean, you have
Hmm.
TouchPick, SnapPick, Breeze, and Curator. I
Yeah,
mean,
there's Luma
those.
Booth, right? That's another one that people use.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Luma's there, but from what I've tested with Luma, I don't think it's quite. And Darkroom Booth has an
mm,
iPad software too.
hmm
Um, I just don't think that their technology for those is where these other ones are, like Curator,
okay,
SnapPick, TouchPicks, and Breeze. I mean, that's the Royal Four, as I
hmm
define it. So. there's some great stuff out there, and I think that hey, hello, whoever that was, hello,
Hello,
uh,
Facebook user.
hello, Facebook user,
Probably
wherever.
Heidi.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, we're we're really coming into some really cool things,
Yeah.
technology wise for the booth. Seeing a lot more, believe it or not, with the 360.
It's James.
Oh, it's James. Okay.
Hi, James. Want to come on next week? Talk about Curator? The people would love to see it. You let me know. You have your people call my people.
So James is probably going, how the heck did I come across this tonight? And how did my name come up? Somebody probably messaged him and said, hey, they're talking about you on Photo Booth Magazine.
Oh my gosh. Another thing, Dave, that would be interesting. James says yes. All right, you're on next week. James, you heard it live here. Curator update. Um, bridal shows. I wanted to
Yeah,
pick your brain on bridal shows. What are your thoughts on doing bridal shows?
I do them. I do one or two every year. And it's funny because, I see other companies that, I'm friends with. Obviously, you and I are friends with,
Uh-huh.
some DJs, some, photo booth companies. And it's nice. It's nice seeing other people there. And I sometimes wonder when they see me roll in with my setup if they're thinking, "Oh, great, Dave's here,"
Like crap.
because I we are a community, but you also have to look out for yourself too.
Yeah.
So I know how to sell against other types of people that are out there, which is
Uh-huh.
obviously what you need to be able to do in business.
Yeah.
It's like you own a Ford dealership or a Chevy dealership. Well, why should I buy a Ford over a Chevy? Over a
Uh-huh.
Chevy,
Yep.
you know, it's a vehicle with four wheels. It's going to get you from point A to point B. One might look a little sleeker. One might be better, for your budget.
Yeah.
So
But there's a customer for
that's
everybody, and there's a photo booth company for every customer. It's just got to be the
exactly
right match.
exactly.
It's like what are the dating apps like eHarmony? That's not, I'm dating myself, but like it's like there's a when two people want to get together, there's got to be things that attract each other, and it's the same thing with any type of business, whether it be
Yep,
personality, whether it be price, whether it
yep.
be flash and glitz and glamour, or no frills. Doesn't really matter. Um,
I mean, the photo booth. I mean, it's nice because I fill a lot of dates for the next year.
okay.
You know, um, the shows that I'm in, you know, are some I really like, and some I just try out just to see.
How do you
So it's kind of hit
gauge?
or miss.
Like
What's that?
so there's a bunch of bridal shows out there, right? So
Well, there's
do you
bridal
have
shows all
certain
across the country.
yeah.
You
So
know,
do you have certain criteria when you're considering doing a bridal show? For example, if they're asking for, let's say, $300 or $400 or $500, right? That's an allocated amount of money that you're going to put up front to be a part of this show. And then
hmm
sometimes they want you to donate something as a door prize, right?
right?
How do you gauge that when they're asking for, let's put $400 out there, right? They're asking
hmm
for $400. They
Right,
haven't asked you for a door prize yet. Let's put that out
right.
there.
hmm
How and it's a venue that's close by you, so that's not bad. Now,
hmm
what are your next criteria on whether you're going to do it or not?
So I look at, do they do other shows in other cities
Okay.
around the area? Do they do the online marketing? Do they have a Facebook page? Do they have an Instagram account?
Hmm.
How many people are following them? If it's just a local venue that's doing it, is it a popular venue, or is there something that's unique to that show?
Hmm.
Um, like there's a local museum that's in our area here that they do a show. It's very unique. You know, it's at a museum. I mean, come on, it's just like if they did them at like the historical mansions around Philadelphia. You know, those types of shows. Now, a lot of those are, vendor specific.
Yeah.
You've got to be on the call roster for them. But it's a matter of you have to do your homework. I look at it, how many jobs do I have to book from this event to break even
Yeah.
and to make money?
Okay. So $400, you get in there, and what if if they guarantee you're going to be the only photo booth company there? That's even better, right? So
Oh,
is that
that's phenomenal if that's the case.
yes? So is that a question that you should be asking? Is well, what other kind of entertainers do you have or
So
vendors?
I do ask, I ask, how many photo booth specific companies do you have?
Mm-hmm.
And then how many DJs do you have? Because a lot of the DJs and photographers,
Got it.
you have photo booths too,
Mm-hmm.
and don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're going to have 30 DJs and 10 photographers that are going to have photo booths, you're going to have to work twice. You're going to have to work a lot harder than if there's only three or four.
Yeah.
You
It's like
know,
jumping on
so
thumbtack at that point.
you know, but if that's the case, ask them. Who are some of these other companies?
Mm-hmm.
And once again, do your research, look into what they offer. You know, everybody has websites.
You
Go
have
to
a
their
mailing
website.
list,
They,
right?
get information. I'm not saying I don't believe that you should shop other companies,
Mm-hmm.
but you kind of need to once in a while just to see, what someone's offering.
Right. We got a
Um,
comment here. Simeon thinks, I think bridal shows are starting to become less and less important. These small shows at the halls seem to be what I get the best results. Interesting. So small shows at halls. So like the wedding venues, right?
yeah, yeah,
Interesting.
and if it's promoted correctly, they
Hmm.
can be really really good. I mean, I've done shows at like local fire companies, on like a Sunday morning, where they'll do from like 8 to 12, or and book like crazy.
Wow.
And then
Cool.
I've done some where, you're like, what did I spend the $200 on, or three hundred
Yeah.
dollars on? And you talk to like four people.
Yeah. I did
So
that. I did that a couple of actually right before the pandemic. I did a bridal show, and I think it only cost me like 350 or 400, like about what I'm talking.
mhm.
And I got one booking out of it, so it was a wash. But for me, I'd like to see whatever I spend at least a three time, right? So if
Right,
I'm spending 400, I
exactly.
want 1,200 out of it from
And
whatever.
that's what you have to, that needs to be your goal,
Hmm.
going in. And you have to also put a plan together. How are you going to capture that information?
Right.
For the people that come through or your booth.
Hmm.
So, I mean, we were talking about it over with Drew. Is you have an amazing tool with your photo booths where you can capture email addresses and phone numbers and
Hmm.
things like that, and use that to your benefit to follow up afterwards and say, "Hey, we just want to say thank you.
Yeah.
This is the only contact that you'll get from us, but we just want to say thank you for coming through, taking time out of, this big wedding expo, and you taking the 5-10 minutes to come through our booth, and we hope you enjoyed it, and we hope that, if you're looking for a photo booth, or 360 or iPad booth or whatever, you give us a call.
Yeah.
You know, make it
What
make it quick, make it easy.
What about at the expo, right? So, you're doing the bridal show, or bridal expo, however you want to phrase it. And guys, if anybody's watching, you want to comment on this on the Facebook groups or YouTube, whatever, leave your opinions in there too. We may comment on the show, or we may comment later on when we're reading through them. But you're at the bridal expo. Um, are you because everyone wants to feel they got a deal or they got something out of this expo. Are you going to
Yep.
be giving an incentive like $100 off, $50 off, or do you have a giveaway? Do you have something tchotchkes that you have on the table? What's your angle on that? What do you do?
So I do discount for the show, and I normally give it a week afterwards because sometimes you do have brides that want to talk to their fiance
Hmm.
that may not be at the show, or their mom and dad. Um, Mom and dad who are probably paying for, most of the wedding, or, fiance, can we afford this? Um, yeah, I mean, I have no problems, marking, coming down a little bit with discount, $50
Yeah,
or whatever, or throw in, an extra feature or something like that.
yeah,
Instead of
exactly.
just doing prints, maybe we do prints and we do text,
Or, or you
along with.
upgrade them to a 4x6 instead of a two by
Right,
six, or it's just something simple.
right. Yep,
That's good. Yeah, I'm considering doing just a bridal show. Happens to be $400, and I've been going through that, and so we'll see what happens. I'm going to think about that. I'm going to let them know tomorrow whether I'm going to do it or not. It happens to be a Sunday that I have open, and I haven't done one in a while.
right.
Drew Christopher, who was just hosting us on his show, asked, "Has anyone ever gotten mad that you texted or called?" And I'm assuming that means after the Bridal Expo.
No, um, because I ask people
Mm-hmm.
if, it's okay. And at a bridal show, if I'm enabling the text, I have a disclaimer that pops up that says, you may get, an email from us as a follow up.
Okay.
And also, from bridal shows, what a lot of people, when they're signing up with an email or a phone number to go to the bridal show, because that's what the bridal show people are giving to the vendors.
Yeah, and don't they
You know,
let
we
them
had,
know that they're going to be giving the vendors the list usually?
they're supposed to,
Yeah.
supposed to. I did a few years ago. I did have a bridal show where I guess they didn't tell the brides that, you know, that their names were going to go in a mass list that was going to go to all the vendors, and all the vendors kind of flooded them with
Yeah.
offers at this show, and the brides were like, please stop.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's why I
Yeah.
put in there, listen, this is going to be our only contact, with you, if you're interested,
Okay.
please. And then here's our contact information back, if you're interested. You can text or email us at blah 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 blah, and just leave it at that. You know, they probably know who you are. They may not remember you. But for bridal shows, I make sure that my website or my phone number is there
Uh-huh.
on whatever we're giving out too. So they know that, okay, this was the really cool booth down at the far end, that had this and this, and you know, here's their website,
Right.
or here's their phone number. Let
Okay.
me give them a call.
Cool. No, that makes sense. And I think there's a bunch of the iPad softwares out there that like you said, they have that ability to put a disclaimer on there that says, hey, by putting your information here, you agree that we're going to give you a contact. So that's good. We got a couple more comments here. Ed Altunin said he used to run shows, and he stopped right before 2020 because it was a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
Another Facebook user signing in, do a giveaway. Use iPad C stand kiosks to harvest the data, name, date, email. Everyone that passes by will fill out the short form while with your client, while you're with your clients, brides you miss will fill it out. I gotta keep reading that. It's such a long one. It's great. Um, we put a banner next to each kiosk, free photo booth. They always stop and they fill it out. So free photo booth. I think I'm gonna be getting that for free. So I don't know how you word that. And their shows bring in 3,000 brides, and we harvest 1,500 plus leads. So they're getting 50% of the people. big show. 3,000
Well,
people.
okay, so you're getting those leads, but what are you doing with them? That's the
Yeah,
thing. A lot of times people are doing these shows, they get the information, but they don't do anything with it.
yeah. So what do
You
you do
know,
with the information? Like, and that's maybe we get if somebody's watching this. Other than yourself. I mean, I'm kind of green at this. You've been doing this a long time. I would love to have a third party come on and teach us. Who's our bridal show guru who wants to come on the show?
I have a couple people. Let me reach out
Okay, I
to,
think that'd
to
be
a few
great.
people.
I think I would learn something, and everybody else here would
Yep,
learn something too.
yep. I think that would be a great, uh, a great thing for us. Somebody just commented and said, email them and text and follow up, and you should be doing that within 24 hours of the bridal show. So,
Okay.
so it says, they closed 350 leads
Yep.
out of the 1,500 leads. That's really good.
Yeah, that's a
And
good close
you
percentage.
know, it's all a matter of being able to sell what you offer and creating that experience
That's a
that
lot
these
of
people.
booths.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Well, you got to remember, it's not all in one year. I mean, I get bookings from bridal shows for 1 and 2 years out. So
Okay. Very cool. Well, we did it, Dave. Anything else you want to hit on before we head out? Because it's been late. We just this is our second show, back to back.
you know, we did 2 shows in one night and we rocked it, man. We
Double
rocked it.
double header. It was a double
That's
header.
it.
The baseball season starts tomorrow night, by the way. At least for the
That's right.
Phillies. Yeah.
That's right. And I saw our Eagles are going back to Kelly Green, which is very cool.
A little bit. A little bit.
I'm kind of anxious for that.
Oh my God. Wait,
Uh,
I had a chair cover lady show up with a mirror booth and I had to say no. Wow, Ed. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Dave. You got to be ask those questions. What other
sure.
photographer is going to be at the bridal show? Because
Yep.
somebody's going to slip in a photo booth in there somehow.
Yep. Well,
So
and like I said, you have to know how to sell to your competition.
yeah,
You know,
without pissing off your competition, because again, community
I
over
mean,
competition
you're
really.
both there to do. You're both there to bring in business.
Yeah,
So, during that show, I know, the DJs that have booths and things like that. You know, I have a DJ business myself. My
hmm
DJ business is separate to my photo booth business.
yeah,
So when I'm doing these shows, I'm saying, listen, we are a photo booth company. We specialize in photo booths. We're not just a DJ that, has a kiosk here that, is just a backdrop. And then I fill them in on what we do. So
yeah.
what's that? Not fair to other vendors when they ask how many other vendors in my field.
I
I
think it's a legit question because you're gauging your ad dollars, right? And
right.
I want to know what I'm competing against.
Well,
Right.
and listen, if there's going to be 50 photo booths, like I said, that's less of a market grab that you have potential of.
Yeah.
I mean, are you gonna get more with 50 or are you gonna get more with five?
I think
You
since Ed
know,
has run some bridal shows, maybe he should come on as well. Maybe we make it a 4-person night.
maybe we can, yeah,
Ed, what do you say? Want to come
get
on
you lined up.
bridal show night? So we're lining it up. We're doing live bookings right now.
There you go. There we go. We got James next week. We got Ed coming on,
Oh my
and
gosh.
people.
Jane wants to come back on. We got Mike Walter wants to come back on.
Yeah.
Clay
Yeah, it's
Moore.
amazing. People that were actually on with us want to actually come back and do another show with us, which is
It's
crazy. I can't
I know.
understand why anybody would want to do that.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Ed put it in sure. All right. So first he goes, we asked if he'd come back on. Exactly. That's all caps. But then all lowercase for sure. Come on, man. I gave it a
See, this
come on, man.
this is the part when you're reading messages,
I'm
from
old.
the chat.
What does that say? So I'm
Says
getting moody.
sure.
It's been a long day. Back to back. You're right.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. Let's close it out. Guys, Dave, doubleheader. We did it.
We did it.
Yeah. Thanking again, Drew Christopher, for having us on his show. That way. Bam. Check his video is going to come out next week. We got James from Curator. He's going to be on, and it's not hurricane season, so we know he should be here. And we're going to have a blast.
We have a blast no matter who is on or not on. We got this. So
We
listen,
got it.
everybody, get out there, practice, learn, and have fun most of all.
See you guys.
Have a great night.
Have a great night.